What's up, guys? And yes, Retan Studio, you actually heard typing. Now, like, I don't take any more chance, even when I put like the waiting for it. I don't want to shut off the sound because for so many times I just like started the stream, started to talk, and everything was on mute. So I'd like to repeat myself like 2 or 3 times. So, hey, what's up, guys? I hope everybody's feeling all right. It's another fun Monday, which this time around, like, that's the thing. It's gonna be like more instructive, and at the same time, I think I'm gonna take the moment to actually try new things. What I'm gonna show you tonight is basically how I pose a model, but sorry, how I pose a model in Maya with a rig, with like without any skinning, and then how I bring it back to Max and reuse it as a reference for my pose, because mainly like of course like my model is still like pretty far from it's pretty far from the reference. I don't know if you see it, but it got like this posture which I kind of really like in the concept, which gives him like just like sturdy and quite cool. So, and in mind, like, we clearly don't have that yet. So, and I can already tell that the legs are not like wide apart. Like on the concept they look like really under the shoulder, and for mine it seems to be too close. And even like the arms are like closer to the body. In this case, it makes more sense because it's to work with. It's easier to work with like this, and yeah. So basically, I will still like modify this like a bit, but still. That being said, I mean, like, there's no, even if I'm not like completely finished, I can already start to explore the pose with what we got. And yeah, I'm just gonna try out how it works, and hopefully it will be working well. But yeah, I tried it a while back, but it was like a slightly different technique. So tonight we'll be exploring like new one, and hopefully we'll be able like to make it work together. Man, this gap is weird. But yeah, like first thing first, like usual. Um, I got always like an artist of the my favorite artist of the week. It's not like per se like my favorite artist of the week, but usually it's there's so many really good artists, and I just like to feature them as much as I can. And I think like this is like a great window for like any artist. And like me, you probably like are like just a big fan of many other sculptors. So, most of the time I try like to gravitate like around like collectible, like kind of like big sculptures. And this time around, actually, it's a sculptor that you guys may know, but it's more like for the miniature, even if he's doing like a collectible. He's called Raul Garcia Latour. I hope like I'm saying it right, but basically, yeah, this guy is just like fantastic. So you can look for him on his art station. He got like an Instagram as well, which I just want to show you something. Which, well, I think he did like a few sculptures for HMO, which are like collectible sculptures, well, like, and not just it was like completely badass. But I think that's one of my favorite one that he did like recently, which is this Space Marine from Warhammer. But yeah, basically look for his stuff. And yeah, you got like a Facebook page too, Raul Garcia Latour with a dot in between Garcia. His own web page. You see the email. Well, not the email, but the address. Twitter, and I just found out like while I was looking for his links, I actually find out that he actually got like a 10-week online. And by the way, like, I'm not getting like paid or anything like that to sponsor like classes or artists. It's just out of you know interest, I guess. And yeah, so if you guys want to know more about this guy, even me, like, to be honest with you, I wish like I could do that class. I'm sure it's super interesting, and see like he's even like going like through the seems like to be sculpting or 3D printing. So yeah, one guy to maybe check out. So outside of that, there's always I try like to keep like a portion of the the streaming presenting the artist, but like another portion just before I start. I'm going to show you one of the tools that I use. Like sometimes it's websites, sometimes it's tutorials, sometimes it's books, sometimes it can be like different things, and sometimes it's like other sculptures that I actually kind of like to buy and just research and see exactly how they did it, like paint wise or engineering. So, but in this case, it's and to be honest with you, if I got like to recommend one book, it would be. I'm just gonna switch the webcam. Okay, it would be. Sorry about the mess behind me. It's You're not supposed to see it's that big. It's basically, well, first off, I'm gonna start with the most important, I think, and it's if you got like to buy one book. To be honest with you, I think I would recommend this one. And I don't know if you guys actually ever saw that book. I know that if you look up on Pinterest, there's a lot of pages from that book, which are just like it's really really cool. To be honest with you, it's like yeah. Sorry about the nudity for the guys who actually might be offended by that. But yeah, I mean, like, there's so many great things about, and what the thing that I like is like mini anatomy books are for draftsmen or just like artists in general. But this one is really more specific to us, which I make it like even more relevant. And yeah, it's really great. So yeah, there's this book and there's like another one as well that came out. And I know that if you look on their website or Instagram, I'm not sure, but basically they're coming out with like a third book. But this is like one with, they say like anatomy of facial expression, but basically they cover like pretty much the head a lot more in depth. So yeah, definitely like if you guys need like to buy a book, and I'm pretty sure they're selling digital books as well. For me, I don't know, like there's something with like having like physical books in my hands, which I kind of really love to work with. But yeah, feel free to try it out. So just to be sure, before I go ahead, I think right now like you guys don't see the chat at all, so I'm just gonna do a reconnect here. Give me a second. I'll just like try to be sure, because I think it sucks when you guys are actually commenting and like let's just say like on Facebook, and then all of my people from Twitch don't see nothing. So I'm just gonna try to fix that quickly. So okay, shouldn't be that long. So I hope you had a good weekend, that the Monday is not like too hard. So could somebody give me a shout or something, just to be sure if oh yeah, I think it works. Yeah. Okay, so sorry, like my the chat is like going so fast I can barely keep up. So what's up everybody? What's up Kyle? What's up Freeling as Mutt? Man, it's you guys got like such cool names. I can barely, speak my French. Actually, like I think I would need like a third language just to speak those names right. But how do I create art surface in ZBrush or another program? Well, there's like many ways to do that, but yeah, for tonight that might be like a subject maybe like too big to cover. So, but yeah, from time to time I do some on this channel. But yeah, I'm just gonna go quickly over the chat just to be sure I'm not missing out on anyone. I mean, um, uh, oh yeah, that Space Marine is actually Reboot Gilly Man. Oh right, that's cool. Is he like some kind of like Warhammer god or something like that? Because I guess you're mentioning like this guy that I just shown, right? Is he like some kind of like super marine or something, or like or because like this guy looks like way more badass than like the normal like the average space marine. Uh, Holgard, yeah. Well, some like Holgard, some really don't like it. I think it's super subjective. Um, but yeah, there's so many good books out there, and I think the best thing you can do with anatomy books is just like cross-reference it. So, um, okay. So that's great. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you like what I would actually go do like to pose this model, because right now that's one of the things, like in the last stream, some people ask me, how do you pose the model from there? And I know like many of my fellow artists, they just like go in. I'm just gonna isolate it just for the sake of speed, but they will just you know mask parts when they can, and then they'll go pretty much like transpose. So, whoops. I'm just gonna show you just in case like some of you are not don't know that tool, but it's pretty much like a one of those basic translation, rotation, and scaling tools. So yeah, I'm in rotate, so basically you can move the body. I know that there's some people use the Z-spheres, and to be honest with you, I never used Z-spheres at all, so I wouldn't be able like to tell if they're efficient or not. I just felt like every time that I started like to use them, I just felt like so awkward using them that yeah, it kind of like never really stuck with me. But yeah, so you can do that. But one of the thing like with this is like, as much as you can make things. Uh, First off, one of the things that I don't like is like the joints can be pretty much anywhere. You need to be extra careful because I could mask this bit and then just like smooth it, and then even if I place it right, well, first off you need to be sure like it's sitting in the center of this, and then if I start moving it, you're just like, oh no, I missed my wrist, so it needs to go higher. So sometimes it's not like a big deal because you can always like resculpt, but it's not, I wouldn't say it like it's precise for the human body. And one of the even worse thing that actually I like to went through was I was like sometimes by accident I was like moving stuff, or stuff get deformed, and sometimes you end up using the transpose instead, just like to place stuff. But by doing this, see, you're kind of like destroying the proportions, especially if you're not working in symmetry. So yeah, so basically, the idea with this is like, uh, I try like to make it like accessible as possible for you guys, just in case like you wanted to try it out. So what I did was, first off, I went um, to my good friend called Gumroad, and basically I found like this guy, which to be honest with you, I didn't go like through a whole lot of research, but I just like wrote like a rig Maya, and basically I look it up, and then I watched some of his rigs, and of course some of them are free, some of them are you need to pay for it. I actually got this one, which it's, I'm sure like there's probably like better rigs than that out there. But yeah, I mean, like this one, and to be honest with you, I was like kind of rusty with rigs. It's been a while since I've been playing with them. But I think for what I want to show today, I think it's going to be good enough. So yeah, if you want to, I'll paste it in the chat. Hopefully it will work. And yeah, if you guys need like to go and go check it out, feel free. And like I've said, if you got like better rigs or better artists on Gumroad that feel free to use them. So one of the things that I'll try to do for this before I go to Maya is I'm just gonna split roughly. It doesn't need like to be super accurate, but I'll do my, well, first off I'm gonna work in symmetry. So just gonna create my polygroups. So group mask. I'm gonna check at the same time if, yeah, just for the, just to be sure I start fresh. Okay. And right now I'm gonna try it. Well, I'm saying that, but I'm gonna try it without a decimation, but it might go really bad. So just because like it's gonna be like probably like super heavy in Maya or while streaming in Maya. So I suggest like if you're not sure about it, then you could always decimate the thing before you bring it to Maya. But yeah, basically right now I'm trying like to do a polygroups at every articulation. So like the wrist, the elbow. Like I've said, it doesn't need to be perfect, but try to get as close as you can. So I'm just gonna remove this. So, and one of the things that I like using like a rough mesh like this is like it got, you know, like somehow like a little bit of what the final proportion will be. So it might change quite a bit, but not to an extreme. Like to maybe I would say like the maximum would be like 30% change of silhouette. So I think it's still good for reference to post our model. So group mask, and so for making it like easier, I'm just hiding them along the way, which I press like Control Shift and Alt. Uh, uh, yeah, just to be sure I'm not missing out on questions. Okay, so my next question is from Freeling Asmat. How can someone get a job doing character modeling when there's no job posts? Well, that's the thing. You say that, but to be honest with you, most of the time, like there's so many jobs out there. It's sometimes like how can I say this? Like it's sometimes there's like so many, like almost like too many choice that even recruiters sometimes don't know like where to look because there's like so many choice, but sometimes they just cannot find what they're looking for. And I think like going out directly at them, I don't know if recruiters will like me for saying that, but that's how I used to go to do it. Basically, I wouldn't wait for like a job post. I would just like go on LinkedIn or try to network with like some people that I knew or whatever, and I would really literally try to, let's just say I want to apply to Blizzard, then I would like try to find out like the name of the recruiters out there, and then I would try to contact them directly. And then I think it's like a lot more human and easier to get access. And yeah, and that's how I would actually manifest my interest and find a way to send them out like their my portfolio. How I'm not saying like it will work every time, but it's definitely a good way to get noticed. And by any way, I'm sure like there's other artists that does the same thing. But yeah, I just feel like if you got like a name or someone to talk to directly instead of just like posting some kind of bank of artists or whatever without having like no name specifically to contact or reach out, I always feel it's I always get the feeling that it's get lost somewhere. So I don't really believe a whole lot in that. And yeah, and there's always like the thing that if you post often, you'll get more and more noticed, and then recruiters will be after you. So okay, so now for this, like you get many choice. You can just have like one chunk, but for me, I kind of like always like to do like some kind of arc in the body. So basically, I'll try to almost like split it at the rib cage level. Just like trying to get the collar without the neck. But once again, if I get a little bit of the neck, it's alright. I'm still gonna use like that kind of split mesh as reference. So right now what you see me doing, of course, like one of the best practice would be just to duplicate the mesh, but you know, if you don't want to have like if you're already having like a really heavy scene, I suggest you just like save like a new tool and call it like posing or something like that, because basically we're kind of destroying the model for the reference. And yeah, so this is another one, group mask. Even if there's like a little bit of floating bits, I mean, there's nothing to be worried about. Oh, not the group. Yes. And then so yeah, I hope it answers your question about the job. But I mean, like it's like I feel it's almost like any competitive jobs. I mean, if you want to really stand out and all, like just push it, man. It's like do as much as you can, invest yourself, like take it like really seriously, and just it's all the people that actually made it into the industry and the one that I'm working with are just like super passionate people. Like they're willing to go like it doesn't mean like doing like a crazy amount of overtime, but it's just like when they're focused doing it, and they're really focused. And to be honest with you, I think the more it goes, and it's it's something I guess like you need to live with, but it becomes more than just a job. It almost becomes like some kind of lifestyle. Because even me, like even if I would become like some kind of millionaire tomorrow, I would still be sculpting and drawing and doing that stuff. So, and even like when I get off work, I always like to check anatomy stuff, or it's kind of a even when I look like at documentaries on animals, stuff like that, I'm always thinking about how I would adapt that like into sculpting and having like a 3D model, or something that it's just like a part of you. So, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think like it's like anything, to stay sane. You need to balance it with like something else. Even if I'm always like thinking about it, like I still try to do something else, like surfing, boxing, Muay Thai, stuff like that, just to release some of the focus and thinking about 3D. So I hope that makes sense, and I'm not just like rambling, whatever. Uh, so like you see, like I'm really like going down. Once again, little bits of stuff that are still left. Um, I don't know why I keep wanna isolate stuff. And okay, so we got all of those bits and the head. So now, um, to be honest with you, right now it's really more once again for the sake of speed and to be sure like it's not too laggy. But you could always like you know merge like all the other parts that I got in there like into the model. Well, I kind of like those, so I think I'm gonna merge them, and even like this. So basically, all the strong shape that might complement the silhouette, I will I will bring them over just to be sure, because sometimes it kind of help like when you play out with the silhouette to see, oh, let's just say like if I twist the hips and then you see one of the saws coming out, might be something cool. So, and right now one of the things that I did, which now I regret, was like bending one of those fingers, but it's all right. I think I'm gonna try to do something about it. So I don't want to split it yet. I just want to isolate the part I'm going to be using. So the saws and this. Okay, so let's do this. We'll go for merge visible. So it will create me a new subtool with all of the guys together. And then what I'll do is come on. Okay, let me just, I'm just need like to fix the poly groups for the shoulder pads. Okay, it's alright. Because what I'm gonna do is like a split by poly groups, and yeah, I cannot afford having like poly groups like that are just like spread all over the object. So what I'll do right now, since I already like masked them one by one, I know that it's like the old piece is gonna be hidden. So now if I go auto group, so did that work? Okay, it's still processing. So in the meantime, sorry guys, I can barely keep up with the chat. Sébastien, can I print eye detail polymesh, or do I need to make topology? Well, that's the thing. Like, it's to answer Ego's art. You can actually print like eye polymesh. I think most of the time, like the issues that I had was really when I wanted to make it hollow. So there's like a fairly good amount of polygons. I think like the highest that I worked with without having like too many issues was actually 3 millions. I think 3 million polygons in ZBrush. And yeah, it's really after that when it went up to Mesh Mixer, and then I started like to all of the thing, and then yeah, it's starting to be really hard to work with. I think that the biggest problem with like the eye polymesh is not really at the 3D print level. Well, from what I saw, it's really more at the software that handles the supports and that kind of stuff, which they seem to be quite bad for that. So okay, so since those will be part of the head and this will be part of the hips. So yeah, so in theory you can pretty much, go eye, but yeah, I guess it's like I'm saying, like this computer is like pretty old, so maybe that's my video card, like the GPU got like such a hard time dealing with I don't know, dealing with like navigating around the eye polygon. But yeah, usually like for the printer itself, it's kind of good. Like I think there's like some printers got like a maximum file size. Right now, like I didn't check for but let me check. Like see, like like for the Anycubic, they gave me like a 4 GB USB stick. So I guess like any files over 4 GB might be a problem. But once again, like it's I know that you want to put like a lot of detail, but usually the way, well, it always depends on what you do. But I think like having a mesh over 4 GB might be like a little bit extreme in this day and age. But let me check on I got like the MOI, and it got like a SD card, but I think I think the SD card is like 16 GB. But wait a second. Yeah, that's it. Like right now, like I don't know if you can see that. I'm just gonna show it. It's six. Well, it's kind of blurry, but yeah, it's 16 gigabyte. It's an SD card. So that's the MOI and not the Anycubic photon. So I guess, yeah, I guess you can go as big as the the key, or USB card can, well, USB SD card or a USB key can actually take. I know that like some printers, I think the Anycubic photon only takes like FAT32 files. So yeah, it's this is it. But to be honest with you, most of the time I split my parts and I only print one part at a time. So, or like maybe two parts on the same plate, but still, like it's nowhere near 4 gigabytes. So gonna combine them. Hey, Gualios86. Oh yeah, Ash Barling. Yeah, that's my partner in crime. Me and Ash were working together in the same team at Ubisoft, and yeah, right now he just released like a class on how to make air for games. So if you guys are like interested into that, feel free to check it out. Um, well, someone is asking what's the polycount limit for a character you're working on. It's, to be honest with you, it's kind of really hard to tell because the way it works, because the game I'm working on, like the Assassin's Creed Odyssey, it's like kind of an RPG. So all the pieces are like kind of standalone pieces, and you can combine them. Well, basically just like The Witcher, you can, or any RPG, you can have like a different element with like a different chest plate. So even if design-wise we build up like asset as a full model, most of the time each pieces is like kind of independent, and plus the system permits like to have all those pieces spread around in the crowd, not just the player. So it's, yeah, there's it's even if I would tell you like the number, which I can't remember really, uh, it's basically outside of Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I don't think like any other game company use like those numbers. So sorry if sorry to disappoint. But yeah. But right now, even like if I would tell you like the poly counts, I think right now like most of the game developers are already starting like to focus a whole lot more on the next generation of console. So even if you go like for those numbers, they might not be depending on which company you're working for, they might not be relevant anymore. So um, group split. So yes, I know it won't be undoable. Um, Hi, Mohamed Assam. Um, the best way to rig it, well, like I've said, you can use a transpose or you can use but you can even like if you want, and that's something like to be careful with. But if you want, you could still like bring in like a biped, whatever biped or rig, or even like in there. I think there's like a, if you press the light box, is it like in projects? Because yeah, it's the way I'm showing is just like, oh, mannequin. Yeah, you can use a mannequin if you want, and basically it's just like a basic shape of a man. But once again, it's a great way like to be sure you're not overextending the limbs, and you already got the spheres as reference to pivot stuff. So, but yeah, like anything, like for me, sometimes I like to exaggerate. So what I'm gonna do is just like export them one by one. Sorry if it's kind of like boring, that part, but it's a necessary evil. But at the same time, you know, like that's one of the things. Like right now, I'm showing it in Maya, but you guys could actually use any 3D application with rigging, and that would be the exact same thing. I mean, what I'm doing right now in Maya, the only reason why I'm going for that is just because the rig was in Maya. But if you want to go for Max, you want to go like for a, you know, Softimage or a, you know, Blender or whatever. I mean, like, feel free to do so. I mean, it won't change anything because what I'm trying to show you right now, it's like the idea on how to use it, and not really the software itself. Because yeah, what I'm gonna do in there, you can do it anywhere else. So just typing the name of my folder. So this is the IPS. Because in the end, like whatever software you're going for, it's, I think, like the whole concept of 3D modeling is always the same thing. We got different tools to go to a different need, and even, you know, every time that you're switching softwares, it's basically just a tool. It's just like a language, but like what you want to say, or like you know, what you want to create, that comes from that. It's not necessarily like bind to a particular software. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying, but nice, wrong. I didn't know you were in the chat, but yeah, no, that's I think that's great that you're giving out those for free. I think breakers are kind of like always like kind of they don't take as much space as they could in the community, just because I know it's like harder to showcase rigs, but I mean, like, they're so essential for everything. And to be honest with you, character modelers are like everywhere, but riggers are nowhere to be found. Like most of the time, it's like super hard to find riggers. So like you see, I'm like exporting everything one by one. So just for the sake of time, like I said, like I really wanted to show you the technique, and I don't want to be spending the whole stream just exporting stuff, because let's face it, that's kind of boring. But still, you know, I'm just gonna finish, I think, like the arm up until the upper torso. You know, I went from the bottom, but I think I should have like went to from there. And I'm just gonna show you what I'm gonna do with it, so you guys can try it out, and or even like improve that technique, because like I said, like I've done like something similar, but not exactly that, and I don't believe at all that it's like the best way to do it, or it can be, or there's no way to improve it. So have fun, and I'm gonna export that just to be sure it's not like a headless dude. So I apologize for the guys who are actually hoping that we could see only ZBrush for the streaming session, but yeah, we're gonna mix it up a little bit. That's one of the things, like today, you know, I wanted, like in the last session I mentioned like that we could check Marvelous and how to do morph targets, but I think I'm gonna be too tight on time, so maybe I'll show it like next time if some people want to see it. Basically, the whole idea is like, you know, what, by the way, like I'm just like trying to switch Maya, and for some reason it kind of froze. But yeah, no, for a Marvelous Designer, it's basically if you guys, you know, let's just say you want to do a pose and you got like the fist up, just like a boxer, you know, all the folds from, I don't know if you can see in the webcam, but all the folds from the elbow is going to be like, you know, you'll have like a lot of creases and, you know, folds in the elbow, which if you simulate with like the arms out, and then you move it manually, first off, like you'll destroy most of the folds and the folds won't be accurate. So I can, you know, with the Marv target and Marvelous, basically you can start with the arm straight and then do like a shape for the arm to actually bend, just like in the pose that you want, so it will create like proper folds. But yeah, just kind of bring Maya if he wants to. Yeah, that's another sad part, like it's, I want to show you like the Maya or Marvelous, but feel like for my computer is like a diva or something, so like right now I'm just like trying to cross over the window, but it's, I feel everything is frozen. You still, you guys are still there? And to answer the question, yes, I actually do use the Marvelous in my pipeline. I uh, I know how to sculpt clothing, but I, you know, if I get the chance, I'll use it as a strong base, and then I'm gonna be sculpting over it. Because even like sometimes when it's like, it's not like 100% physically accurate, but it's quite close. And sometimes, wow, it's gonna be laggy, like. But yeah, it's not like 100% accurate. But yeah, and sometimes like, let's face it, like even if I would have like a real life scan, sometimes like the detail are not always like super pretty. So that's why we use like lighting in movies and makeup for, you know, that you know, women use makeup. So because sadly sometimes real life is not like perfect, or well, I wouldn't say perfect, but as beautiful as some people like it. So it's pretty much the same thing for the clothing and Marvelous. Like basically I like to resculpt it a little bit. Sometimes it's like add more folds just to make it more appealing. So this is it basically. You know, I just like imported the rig, and I deleted uh, you know, the base mesh. I just wanted to keep the rig, and basically if you start um, playing with, wait, I got the transpose, and then see, now I can play around with the bones. If it wants to. So here you go. So right now what I'm gonna do is, and you'll see, and by the way, like one of the things that I didn't do in my ZBrush is splitting the fingers per you know, per knuckles, basically, like, because usually a finger you would have like 3 parts. So that's a good thing to actually do, just to place it, because let's face it, like hands are so expressive, then having like a really nice posed hand might contribute quite a lot. But yeah, so basically I'll import my some of my meshes. Say that my mic is actually too low. I'm sorry, I'm just like catching up some of the comments while everything is frozen. But yeah, I think I'm already to the maximum. It's just me that I guess I should be like shouting or something, or just speaking louder. Okay, so let me get the post parts. So we'll start with the farms. It's alright. No, but it's good. I kind of like that. You know, if you guys feel that, you know, you can barely hear me instead of like not saying anything, I would rather like have people telling me because, you know, what's the point of talking if nobody can hear you? Okay. So, come on. Yeah, like I've said, like that's why I'm saying like maybe you know sometimes it's good to decimate. So I'm gonna go with face. Just gonna do one side. What's happening? Okay, so in the meantime, you guys got like any question? I don't know what's happening. It's completely frozen. Yeah, I think it doesn't like the fact that I'm streaming and and deleting polygons. Okay. So I'm just gonna, if I recall right, if you press insert, you can move the pivot closer to the center. So once again, like if my original mesh is not exactly the same, it's alright. I'm gonna realign my pieces with the rig, and even if they go through each other, it might not be a huge deal. So okay, so you got like the forearm, and then we'll go for the bicep. Just gonna delete. Oh, now it's getting faster, so that's a good sign. I can feel it. Can you guys feel it? The 3D magic happening. You guys are working on something, by the way. Like I didn't ask, and like always, you know, I like to do my stuff, but I like to know that people are doing stuff as well. You know, it creates like almost like a sculpting sessions. Ooh, yeah. Look at that. And then I'm gonna bring in the end. And see, like right now I didn't even pay attention, but it's already spread in 3 circles. So, you know, it's easier if you want to go in and parent like the my 3 parts of the belly. So okay. I'm just gonna Sorry if I'm like a little bit slow in my because you know at work these days I'm using Macs, so that's why I'm less and less. But yeah, to be honest with you, I kind of prefer Maya, but yeah, I'm just using whatever the production asks me to use. But hopefully someday will change at you know, at Ubisoft. Yeah, like I said, like I didn't split my fingers, but I should have, and then I could have like just every parts could have been like apparent to the those things. But and let's face it, like sometimes my sculpting is not like physically accurate. So even if I try to align my stuff, it won't work out. So I'm just like trying to have like an average of what it should look like, and then the shoulders. Uh, oh, that's awesome, Return. You're making like 3D parts for a miniature. That's you know, but that's one of the things. Like right now, it's I'm like kind of stuck like between you know working at the studio and working home. But and yeah, with my kids and all, I got like barely have like time anymore like to work on my stuff, and I'm like trying to push hard for the 3D print stuff because yeah, I just love it. But yeah, I'd love like to just try out like a little bit of everything. You know, right now I'm into like trying to go for like 1 foot high collectibles, but yeah, at some point I'd like to go tackle the miniature as well. And it's I kind of find it like quite interesting the old constraint of level of detail and everything, and even like how big you need like to make like let's just say like rifles or swords just to be sure it's not gonna be broken. Yeah, I think it's awesome like in this day and age like how many cool miniature are that are being created. So once again, like see, like I'm kind of realigning everything. It doesn't because like this is gonna be like the base of my main silhouette, so that's why I don't mind moving off part because I feel like in the original sculpting, I might have like kind of like missed out on some of the bits. So since I see like the belly going like this, that's why I trying to give like a little bit of the an angle. So and I'm gonna okay, I'm just like gonna try to wrap this up with the abs. So um, so to answer Frillin Asmat like no, I don't know Liz. Is she in Montreal or Quebec? Uh, I guess the answer must be lower. She's in Montreal. Is she not? Not Quebec. Yeah, I've worked like for like 10 years in Montreal, and I can't recall like working with any Liz. So, is she a character modeler or? Oops, I think I'll just loaded the ips. Yeah, I'm gonna show you in a second why I'm doing this. For those who are actually wondering why I'm rigging it, it's not because I got too much time to waste and I don't like sculpting. It's just it's it's slow right now, and I apologize, but usually that process goes like off a lot faster than this. Okay, I think we'll just like wrap it up with this one. Like I've said, it doesn't need to be perfect. So what I'll do, and if I remember how to do this proper, then you go to constraint, then parent. So, okay, not working. Okay. I think I got it like in the wrong order. Could that be? Nope. Okay, so am I missing something? Yeah, like I've said, it's been a while, but usually that works. What am I missing right now? Parent first, also maintain offset option. Yeah, but for some reason it seems like it doesn't want a parent. Help me out, Trong, man. I don't know what's going on because I did it this afternoon. For some reason it was working out, which I'm not sure why it doesn't work anymore. Did I break something? Okay, so okay, for this it's working out, but I'm not sure why it doesn't work for the one at the bottom. Okay, so I select the parent first, so it should be like the ring, and then this guy. So I guess it's because it's not frozen. Okay, maintain offset in the constraint option. I'll get it, I'll get it. But it's already checked. So, what's happening, man? Should I uncheck it? Hold on, I'm gonna try it. We'll figure this out. Don't worry, guys. No. And this guy. Yeah, I just wanna reset the old rotation that I got right now. If I go like this, it should work, right? So this and that and parent. Nope. We'll get it, man. We'll get it. Sorry about that, guys. I'm kind of a bit rusty. Yeah, well, I think I'm gonna leave it. To be honest with you, I don't want to be dragging this in like too much, but I'll, you know, next time I'm gonna be streaming, I'll try like to have like something already all set. But basically, the whole point of this is like you can then, you know, pose your character by moving the you know, all the manipulators to put them like, let's just say I want to put him like fist up. I can like pose it just like if I had like a figurine. Same thing like for the foots. I could like pose it, you know, and I could, once everything is parented properly, you know, like it bends the knees. And so right now, like you could already like start to have like a pose to work from, I mean. um, yeah, it's not crazy cool, but I think you get the point. And let's say that, you know, okay, that's it, that's gonna be it, that's the what I like. Then I would just freeze everything up, delete by tab history, and then I guess I'm gonna do like a freeze, and then I would just export selection. I'll call it so I'll go back to ZBrush. Still saving, but yeah, basically I'll load it up, and then after that I'm gonna use it as reference. So this is my guy. Then I'm gonna go back to my original subtools that I was sculpting. Oh no! It crashed. No. It's not going too well tonight, eh? Oh, that's part of the fun, eh? Oh yeah. So I'm gonna just restart this, and then just for the once again to give a piece of chance to my ugly computer, I'm just gonna kill it. Yeah, you bet. It's, yeah. Actually, that's one of the you know, when you say that, you know, practice makes it better. The number of time that I like to redo the exact same thing, and let's face it, like the second time or third time you actually redo it, you're like way much more efficient at it. You don't like it, and but man, you just like it's crazy how you just want to finish it as quick as possible. So yeah, ZBrush should be back in a few seconds. I'm just like trying to close this down. So yeah, sorry if tonight like was a little bit more boring, but I just sort of wanted to explore it more. But yeah, once again, like I get the feeling sometimes I want to try stuff that are like way too ambitious for the computer and the streaming. So once again, I apologize for that. But still, I'm gonna note it, and as soon as I finish building my new computer, we'll revisit this. And yeah, it's I think that that can be a great tool for many for doing like posable characters, but it's better when I can show something that works. So shouldn't be long. ZBrush is coming. Right now, this character, I think it's called just like a talent. Basically, they got like maybe I can show you this like in the meantime for those who actually didn't know what it was all about. While ZBrush is loading, so yeah, so it's this guy. So basically, I think it's like it's new villains from the Batman world, and they're based on owls. And I think like owls are like natural predators of bats. But what I like about those is like basically they may like see like there's every century there's like a new talent. So and they got their own style from the years that they're all from. So wait, trying to zoom out. Even even this is slow. Yes, it's from the court walls. But yeah, it's I'll get there. But yeah, I pasted mini reference. So, but yeah, I'm not sure. It's like from the TV series. I think like it came up with the comics, and I think the TV show just took it. But yeah, it's back then in the comic they had like, and I felt like the design were like a lot cooler in the comics. So, and I think that was like a great practice for drapery, but maybe not for streaming and doing drapery at the same time. But yeah, we'll see. Worst the worst, what I'll do is like for those bits who might be like too hard on my computer, I might like pre-record them and then put them like on my YouTube. So if you guys want to see like how I tackle those kind of things, it's you'll actually you won't miss out on it. So yeah, so that's basically it. If yeah, if my ZBrush want to come back. It's coming. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know that. So let's go fast. So you guys are checking this out from the US or from the UK? It's cool. Every time that I stream, I think that I got like a different crowd, which is I think awesome. Awesome. So I'm just gonna import my broken body. I don't know about you guys, but right now over here in Quebec City, we're having like a huge snowstorm. Well, there's one coming in like tonight. We're supposed to get like a 30 centimeter of snow, and then the next day we're supposed to get 15 centimeter of snow. But already, like like my main door of my house, it's already like I would say like 3 foot, like almost like a it's what like it's 90 centimeters over the top of my door, which is yeah we got like we can barely I cannot see like the the house in front of my just because like snow is like we got so much snow it's insane. It's part of the fun living here. So so what I'll do like further off I can really check like I've said like the posture and I can yeah, right now that's not. I'm not doing it like the right way though. You guys should activate like symmetry before you go in. That would be so the reason why I like to do this while my mesh is not like too much polish is because I can destroy some bits without worrying too much. Like under like over here, since I didn't sculpt it yet, I can still like play around with it and not worry too much about like I said like breaking something up. I just wanna bring out my reference page. Oops. So is that cool, working on a Warframe? I kind of like, the design. I like the game, the fact that they took a lot more risk um, with their artistic style, which is I kind of wish like though like they never came up with like an art book, which I think that's a shame because I think they got something really cool going on. I don't need this anymore, but yeah, but I think you guys got like get the point. Like basically, I've used it, and one of the trick that I often do is I tend to because sometimes it might be hard like to sculpt with tone on tones. So I'll take this one, and then I'll go like maybe like green, and then I'll do RGB, and then fill, which is here, fill object. So now if I go white, like all the green one will be like my post my mesh, and then my orange one or material one is going to be my the mesh that I'm sculpting on. So you know exactly like how big it's working out. Oh yeah, yeah. I'd love to see that at some point. I know that a while back they made like a sculpture of I think the main character, and yeah. So I'm just gonna bring out some of the parts. Most of the time I work in symmetry except for clothing. Right now, the only thing I'll do is since I'm gonna be probably simulating in Marvelous pants of this guy, I just want to do like a border where I want like the pants to be sitting on. So it's like the boundary of the but I think I'm gonna, you know, finish all the boots first. So I like something really tight, and then simulate on top. So yeah, if I don't get the chance to do it on air, I'll do it like offline. But yeah, hopefully, I keep saying I'll keep working on it during the week, but there's stuff coming up that sometimes I just can't keep up. Yeah, do it, man. Or a girl, like, sorry, I don't, with that name, I don't know if you're he or she, but yeah, go ahead. If you guys want to show like your stuff, just post it in the chat. That's perfectly fine. And that's one of the thing, and like, oftentimes, sometimes I can barely keep up with the chat, but I always like try to go back to the chat after I'm done with the session and just like reread everything. Sometimes even some of the questions that I didn't have this time to ask, I will write them down. In the next streaming sessions, I will answer them. So yeah, no, I get that. Like even for me, like I did stuff for Assassin's Creed that are not yet shown. So, but yeah, I that's one of the thing. Yeah, like it's I love like if you guys like saw because I will once it's come out, I will show it, and yeah, if you guys got feedback or stuff you want to say, but yeah, it's I did like something I think like quite crazy for that world, and it's completely left field, which yeah, it's but I had like such a blast doing it, so I hope you guys will like it. But yeah, I cannot say too much because it's not released yet. Okay, so yeah, like the little sessions tonight, not much difference, but yeah, hopefully you've learned little things, but yeah, I guess like they cannot be crazy ones every time, so I'll try to make it up next time. So and hopefully push this guy a lot more because now it's still we still have a lot of work to do, and yeah, and for some reason I know it's not really an excuse, but the fact that it's like constantly lagging, I feel like it's hard like even for me to get like into the flow of things, but it might just be because it's been a while since I sculpted, so no worries, it will come back to me, and then yeah, we'll make amazing stuff together and have fun. So in the meantime, you know, thank you for stopping by. That was awesome. Uh, I'm always grateful to actually see you guys. I feel like pretty lucky to have actually have like a little bit of your time. You know, that you take a little bit of your time to stop by and then spend it with me. You know, I feel really grateful. So thanks a lot, guys. And yeah, I mean, feel free to post your stuff, tag me, whatever, if you want me to like check your stuff. I always like seeing like other artist stuff, and I get that's my creative fuel come from inspiration from like the other artists. So super open for to see your stuff. So yeah, so if you want to get in touch with me, look at the bottom of the stream. Like basically, there's like my website with the mailing list, and then there's like all the different names that you can look, for in the social media. Um, if you want to get by the next time I'm streaming, usually it's always on Mondays. Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. I'm always there. So yeah, slowly I'm trying to get like in the into streaming into early mornings. I still wake up super early, but I work on something else which I cannot disclose sadly. But yeah, slowly as soon as I become more and more available, I'll get back at it and hopefully be more available. But yeah, in the meantime, really grateful, and I hope you have like a terrific week, and I see you next time. Bye bye, guys. Take it easy.